Good Monday morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning from our Vista Presents Acuity Distributor Center training, featuring our very own Brandy Ruiz. I'm joined today in the office by Jason Rodriguez, who will be assisting with content and communication throughout the session. Please be aware that all participant microphones have been muted to minimize background noise. However, the Teams chat feature is available, and we encourage you to submit your questions and comments at any time during the session. Brandy is going to be your guide through the EDC, pointing out the tools and features that you can apply every day. If you're already set up with the Acuity Distributor Center, we invite you to follow along with us. If not, please contact your Mar Vista salesperson or its Ventura office, and we'll gladly help you out and get you set up. Be sure to pay attention throughout the presentation because I will be asking our $20 question this morning. Be the first to send in the correct answer via the chat, and you'll receive an Amazon gift card. Good morning. Thank you for joining us, Brandy.
Good morning, and thank you everyone out there for joining us this morning. As Frankie said, if you do have the EDC, we'd really like you to follow along with me as I'm using the tools so you get a chance to try them out for yourself. I'm going to talk for a minute about the EDC while I give everyone a chance who wants to join in to get themselves logged into it. So the EDC is the Acuity Distributor Center. Bear in mind that this is a program offered by Acuity Brands. And while we do use their software to log all of our orders, it's only orders placed with Acuity Brands that are going to have updated information in their system. Non-Acuity manufacturers don't share that information with them. So while you'll see the order in here, you won't see any further updates on the order. So let's get started. As you'll notice, you might notice that my EDC looks a little bit different than yours. That's because I am logged in as an agent. But the majority of the tools will look the same, so I can't guide you through the process. One of the things that I do have is that I actually have access to everybody's agent distributor account so that I can follow along with you in case you contact me for problems. So the first thing you notice when you log in is that we have a resource center here. And that kind of gives you an overview of some of the news they have on the EDC with either updates to the system or maybe programs that they're running at the time. One of the ones I want to call attention to is this one, the free freight for online orders. I've had a lot of distributors, especially one that contacted me recently, said that these small orders were killing him on the freight. And I reminded him that if he just placed his orders with the EDC, he could start saving himself those freight charges. One of the things I'll show you today is actually how to place those orders. So the first thing we're going to talk about is along the top here, you have a set of tabs, and those are going to be your main navigation tools to get through the EDC. Over here is My Catalog. This is actually where you can set up and build catalogs to send your customers. As you'll notice, there's nothing generated in here yet. That's partly because Acuity updated this system last Monday. So this is a very brand new tool for them. But if you come over here to the right-hand side, you can walk through the process of building a catalog. It'll mostly be based out of things that you have stocking price on or a history of stocking. Speaking of stock, if you come back up here, where it says manage local stock, these are items that will appear as local stock when you build your catalog. And these are items that you have pricing for already as a stocking distributor. You click on any of them, it'll actually give you information on the fixture. For example, this mounting kit click on it. Hopefully it will open. Maybe not. Okay, so moving on. Let's say it's an item you don't stock and you need to check on it. Maybe you have had a customer walk in and ask for an item, or you cash sale and you need to get a price for your customer. You can start typing in a part number here, and this does have smart logic on it, so you don't have to put in a complete part number. All you need to do is start the part number and it'll list all of the items that start with whatever you've typed in. Each item is usually marked with a symbol. In this case, it only brought up 2 items, the DCMK 224 and the DCMK 14. You'll see that the first one, DCMK 224, is labeled CS. And the second one is labeled ST. Anytime you don't know what a symbol is, you can always hover over it or click it, like over here, and it'll tell you. So CS are contractor select, ST are stock. This bright yellow one is limited inventory. This is something that's probably working on being discontinued and they're selling off the last few pieces. Red is clearance items. These are items where there's very, very few left, or they were special made, maybe something that was special made and canceled the last minute and they have it now sitting. This is good if you need something at a really discounted price and you don't expect to have to reorder it because you can't guarantee you're going to get that exact same item, and definitely not at that exact same price again. These 2 symbols are both design select, and they're a little different. And you have this small logo in the top corner, and that designates it as design select regional. There's no real big difference for that, except that the regional items are made at the local DC, which in our case would be Ontario, California. The regular design select logo means that it's also made in that short time frame, but it's made at a location that is not our local distributor center. And then finally, you have this blue one that's almost like it has bubbles in it. It's Masterline. That's for when you have items that ship as components, like if you have, say, a downlight, an exit sign, a pole, etc., where it ships maybe the downlight housing and the trim, or the pole and the anchor bolt set, or the exit sign and the panel. You'll search up the main item and then it'll break it down into its component parts. Coming over here, you saw I use the catalog search. But if I want to limit this, I can also search for just contractor select items. Or if I don't know the part number of what I'm looking, but I kind of have an idea of what I'm looking for, I can look through here and select items by their category. So here in the outdoor items, I might be able to pick a step light, for example, and start pulling up items that are step lights. I can also, if I want something where I need to get really down and dirty and competitive, I can search for just clearance items. 75. And now I can search all these items that are on clearance to look for the item I need. Any of these part numbers that I click, it'll take me to details on them, including spec sheet. So going back to the EDC, here's a great one, is quotes. If you haven't used this before, this is for an item where you don't have a price in the EDC, something you don't stock. But let's say your customers want something and you know you're going to order it from the EDC because it's not going to make freight and you don't want to wait for your next stock order. You found the item in the product search, just like we did before. You don't have a price for it, so you add it to your cart. Now over in quotes, actually over here on the cart, you would select this and click quote, submit it, and now you should be able to see your quote request here in the quotes. Now, if I was going to place an order, I would just click this. Once I had an approved price, I can put in here where I'm shipping it, the PO number, an order name if I want it to reference to. Maybe I want to remind myself that it's a cash sale for a particular distributor, who entered it, and then I can select here and place the order. Obviously, right now I'm not going to. Now, let's say I did place that order and I want to follow up on it. I can come up here to order status, and it's going to provide me a list of all of my recent orders. As a reminder, your non-Acuity orders are still going to be listed in here, but you will not be able to get updates on them in the ADC. One of the great things about this is it also gives you a visual cue as to the status of the order. And they're actually listed up here at the top. If you have a box with an arrow going into it, it's an unshipped item. If the box is being taped shut, you've had some shipments go out, but the order is not complete. And if the box is fully taped shut, everything on the order is shipped and the order is considered closed. So as I scroll down here, you'll see that we have orders that we've placed as your agent, and they are in different states. Some are not shipped, some are. This symbol means that the order was canceled for some reason. So if I want to follow along and get status on what's actually on the order, I can click this blue caret right here, and it gives me the order information. It'll show me what I ordered, the quantity, and when they're expected to ship. It'll also show me where they're shipping from. Now, let's say I have an order that has shipped and I need documentation on it. It came in, your packing slip's been written all over, and you need to give a copy to your customer, or you need to start pulling the invoices because it's a cash sale customer and you've got to bill them before they pick it up. If I click that caret, you can see again, I have all my shipment information, I have all my tracking numbers, and these are great because they're links and I can actually track the shipment right from the ADC. But if I want my packing slips, my invoices, etc., I click this tab over here, Documents, and look, now I have a fresh packing slip that I can reprint and give my customer. I also have copies of my invoices that I can give my accounting so they can have the invoice for the customer ready when they come to pick up their products. One of the things I get a lot of requests for is people are asking me for copies of credit memos or for more information on what an invoice is because it showed up on their list of invoices, but they don't know what it's for. If it's an Acuity invoice or credit memo, all you have to do is come over here to Invoices, Credits, and you can actually pull up a copy of the invoice itself. You can also check to see if a credit memo has been issued. Maybe you're waiting for one. And if it has, you can come right over here and open it, just like I did previously on the orders, and print out your credit memo. Now, let's say you need a particular invoice. You received it, you don't know what it's for, but you have the invoice number. You can come here to Invoices, start typing in the invoice number, and it'll search up all the invoices that are related to that invoice number, and you can pull them and print them. Some of you maybe need access to more than one account, or you want to be able to change your settings here in the ADC. You can come over here to Settings, and I'm going to show you a great one that you should probably set up, and that's called Shipment Notifications. It's right here, the third line down. My settings are already set up, so I'm going to show you how it's done. You'll set it for email. You want them immediately and for selected orders, and then click Save. While you're in here, if you needed for some reason to say add another account, maybe you work with information from 2 branches, you can select associate additional accounts. Mine is grayed out because I have access to accounts already, but if you needed it, you click associate additional accounts. It'll open a screen where you can put in your account number you need to add, and then you can request access to that second distributor account as well. The reason I mentioned that shipment notifications is going back to our order status right here. All of us are always busy, and maybe we have that one customer that's following up on an order and we need to be able to give them updates quickly. Maybe it's a project that's kind of intense. Instead of constantly having to come back to the ADC and look, what if I told you you could set yourself up to get emails every time something's shipped? And you don't have to do anything but check your email. When you set that notification over here in the settings, you can come over here to your orders, and for your Acuity orders, just select the truck and OK. And you'll notice that the truck symbol turned to a black check mark. I'm now following that order, and anytime anything ships on it, I'll receive an email that will list the part number and the quantity of what shipped, the carrier, and their pro number. And that email can be sent on to your customer, showing them exactly what they're expecting to receive and give them the ability to track it. Now, let's say I pass that order off to someone else and I'm no longer following along with it. I don't want to get the emails anymore. Stopping the emails is just as easy as it was to set them up. Click the truck again, click OK, and now my notifications have stopped. In an order, let's say I want to give my customer access to follow along like I do. But I'm not going to give them complete access. I'm just going to give them access to their order. When I open the order, just like I did before, I can print them a static report that just shows them the information as of today, gives them their part numbers, their quantity, the status, when it's expected to ship, and where from. You can save this and email it to your customer. Or if you know that they're very proactive and they're going to want that information to keep following up on it, you can generate them a live link that will give them access to that order status report, and it'll refresh every time they click the link. Instead of clicking the PDF, come over here to the envelope with the little clip on it, select it. It's going to access your Outlook. Give it a moment, and then it'll start an email. Right here on that second line is your link. You can save that link for yourself, or you can forward it on to your customer. And what that'll do is it'll create that exact same report we just saw, except it's going to access the information and pull it fresh each time you use it. Finally, here's your help tab. This is in case you need something. If you're having problems in the ADC, you need help with a freight claim, or you just want to follow along with some videos to learn how to use some other tools, get a little more in-depth refresher than we did today, you can click here and grab those. Hopefully that's covered everything you need. If you have any questions, we're checking the chat now for those, or you can always contact me directly after this, and I'll be happy to go over it with you.
Thank you, Brandy. The chat is open to any questions, and we do have a couple of questions in here right now. One, has Acuity resolved the issue with the quote request getting emailed to Mar Vista Sales, or do we still need to email the confirmation for pricing? We do still need you to please send an email to the quotations department when submitting ADC quotes, because we do not unfortunately get notifications for that. If you could just send the quote number, that would be perfect. And then the other question is it possible to direct ship from the ADC?
Yes, you can direct ship from the ADC as long as it's within Mar Vista's territory. So the destination address needs to be in either Ventura, Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, or Kern counties. You cannot direct ship from the ADC into another agent's territory. So you can't ship it to, say, Los Angeles, Anaheim, San Francisco, and Fresno, etc.
Perfect. Thank you, Brandy.